Okay, Pernida, this wasn't working out with the intro, babe. Maybe next time we can... What the hell even are you? Everybody, Tekking101 here to review Bleach chapter number 619 entitled The Betrayer.
Betrayal! What? Betrayal! Betrayed me!
Indeed, Spoonie, indeed. Now, before I continue, I would think I would be a little bit remiss to bring up the fact that it's been exactly 100 chapters since we got in this title page. Didn't really have any reason to bring that up whatsoever, I just like to see Rukia in her bath towel. Yeah. Okay, so chapter starts off with Ichigo gets a Gaten showing the entire upper half of the Cocoon Palace. That shit ain't there no more. And, I love that, you know, provided if Ichigo does save the Soul King, he's not gonna have a place to live now. Be like, yeah, sorry man, I kinda lightning claw cannon the crap out of your crib, so... Yeah. Anyway, Ichigo has his epic stare down with Yhwach, still continuing after that. He seems to have calmed down a little bit there. And Yhwach, I mean, like, I don't know what... It seems like, to me, he just is repeating the same shit. Is anyone getting that vibe? Like, I go back to these chapters, and, like, when Yhwach's having this conversation with Ichigo, and it all ties back into Yhwach trying to relate to Ichigo, saying that it's his Quincy blood that flows in Ichigo's veins, so Ichigo's kind of like his prodigal son that should just listen and obey whatever Yhwach commands, and it's already been ordained, and there's nothing to say about it. I mean, there's nothing that he can say about it. Okay, that's great, and that's fine, but it seems like he's been, like, basically repeating the same damn lines and monologuing over and over again. I was gonna make a Bond villain joke, but I'm pretty sure I've made the same Bond villain joke, like, 2 other times. And, you know, it just word verbatim, it's just like, your will is everything. It is connected to my will. I didn't even have to try to manipulate you, because you're always gonna do what I'm going to do, because you're me, sort of, kind of. Alright, and guys, get ready for this. This is beautiful. This is absolutely... Like, okay, remember when Naruto was ending? And I can say that word now because it's over. I'm free, no more fondle. But no, remember when Naruto was ending? There was a fan art in the community explaining exactly how convoluted all the antagonists got, because it was like Obito was being manipulated by Madara, and Madara was being manipulated by Black Zetsu, and Black Zetsu was being manipulated by Kaguya, and Kaguya was being manipulated. It just keeps on going and going on, and there was that one fan art where it's like the Ichiraku ramen guy contains everybody, and, you know, he's like just a massive puppet master. This is the vibes I'm getting from this, because I shit you not, Yhwach explains to Ichigo that I've manipulated all your battles. The power you've used to defeat Sosuke Aizen, then you lost it, then you gained it again with Fullbring, and now you've regained the power you've defeated when Sosuke Aizen, which means that Ichigo is currently at the level of his Dangai form, which, whatever, I'll get to that in a second. You've reclaimed that power by cutting down the Soul King. And this is the exact same thing that Aizen used when Aizen was explaining this shit to Ichigo back when Aizen was talking to Ichigo about his heritage and everything, right? When Isshin interrupted him, you know? Yeah, this is the same thing, because Aizen was going on about how all of your battles have been manipulated by me. Don't you think it was odd you didn't see a hollow until you first encountered Rukia Kuchiki? The powers of Chad and Orihime were also manipulated by me. All of your battles up to this point were all a master plan. No, and you know what? I can't, it's not even like I can interpret this a different way, like, oh, maybe Yhwach meant something else in more of like a figurative or symbolic sense. No, he flat out says, no matter what you think, you've had my consent with all of it. I've been pulling the strings ever since, you know, you basically before you've been born because of his Quincy blood. So if I could get this straight, this poor kid has been manipulated by, he basically has no will of his own. Okay, he's being manipulated by Aizen as soon as he was conceived, because Aizen was aware of Ichigo's existence the second that he obviously saw Isshin and Masaki get together. I just had a mental image of like Aizen watching on like a monitor of Isshin and Misaki banging now and be like, ah, yes, they're creating a half-breed. So, yeah, whatever. But not only that, not only has Aizen been manipulating Ichigo, but Yhwach's been manipulating since before he was even conceived, just through his Quincy blood. So, I feel bad for Ichigo. I mean, I'm going to take back everything I said to him as a bad main character, because he's not a main character. This poor kid has no will of his own. Everything that he has ever done, according to this series, has been manipulated by at least two major powers. And it's not just Ichigo. The way that Yhwach is explaining this, he's also been manipulating Aizen and possibly even Ginjo this entire time. I don't give a fuck about Ginjo, but it's kind of really hard to remiss when you say that, you know, this is the main antagonist of the majority of this series was Sosuke Aizen, and Yhwach might have been manipulating him as long this whole path as well, too. He mentions Aizen by name anyway. He considered him for a war potential, so Yhwach was certainly aware of Aizen's existence. But anyway, Yhwach comes to the conclusion, and it's this big cover spread, of course. It is because you and I, Ichigo, we have the same blood flowing through our veins. Yeah, that's great. Okay, now, pop quiz, everybody. What do you think Ichigo's going to do with this revelation? Do you think he's going to shout really loud and pull out a Getsuga Tensho? Do you think he's going to try to explain his actions very calmly to Yhwach, trying to figure out what's going on? Do you think that maybe he's going to, I don't know, do something smart and, like, I don't know, leave for the moment because it's kind of apparent that he can't beat Yhwach? I mean, he even touched the guy with his hand and his hand got pretty much, you know, burned last chapter. So, you know, I think at this point I would do more of a retreat tactic myself. But no, Ichigo just, you know, charges forward like, I don't give a shit what you mean, man. And he just clashes swords with Yhwach again. Well, not really clash swords, more just clash. He has a sword. Yhwach just kind of uses his indestructible armbands, probably like Blute Vein or some shit, I don't know. And you know, Ichigo just, you know, he has his common retort to this. He's like, I don't care what you mean by this Quincy blood shit. I'm gonna stop you. And Yhwach's, oh, this is a sick burn right here on Yhwach's part. Oh, really? You couldn't even utter the word kill to the person who killed your own mother. Okay, good. We're finally referencing Misaki in this shit. It's amazing that an arc focusing primarily around Quincy's and the heritage of Ichigo having Quincy blood in him, you'd be amazed of how often most of the Quincy aspects of this series don't pop up. Like Ryukin, Uryu's barely in this thing, and then we have, you know, Misaki, of course. So, there's a couple of mistranslations with this. I don't want to say mistranslations, but, you know, just varying translations. So, the first translation I read on Manga Panda basically had Yhwach saying that Ichigo was weak because he couldn't even protect his own mother. This translation is saying that even though Ichigo's all pissed off by Yhwach, he hasn't actually directly said, you know, Yhwach, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and Yhwach's kind of making fun of him for that. It's like, you can't even, you know, you can't even bring yourself to say the word kill against me, the guy who you should absolutely just despise. And I think he might be referencing the fact that, dude, this is proving my point. You have my Quincy blood. You can't kill me because part of me is in you. That maybe he's going with that angle. I don't like the Manga Panda translation just because, I mean, it's a little bit more like poetic, like, you know, you couldn't even protect your own mother. But remember, Ichigo was 9 when that happened. Like, even if Ichigo was aware of the fact he was a Quincy and he was a Shinigami at that age, like, even if his parents sat him down and told him this, what would he have done against Grand Fisher at the age of 9? You know, I mean, he's not fucking Gohan here, guys. I don't think that translation's accurate. But, you know, regardless of that, Ichigo gets a little bit stunned by this, and in this moment of, in this brief moment, I guess Yhwach knocks him back or whatever, but then we immediately cut over. It's like a weird transition, too. It's like we were having this big, you know, shocking moment where Yhwach brings up Misaki, and Ichigo's like, oh, shit, he went there! And then we immediately cut over to an arrow that stabs Yoruichi in the side of the shoulder. Okay. And she gets knocked back a little bit, and then we see Uryu Ishida standing there in the shadows with his, new bow-looking thing. I mean, he got a new bow, I think, when he fired it against, when he did his, leaked Reagan thing against, Ichigo back in, I think, chapter 586, 585, something like that. Personally, I liked his short bow, the one he used against, Ginjo in the Fullbringer arc. That's actually one of the few things I enjoyed about that arc, that new bow. I wish that he would have elaborated on more where he gets these kind of things, or that they make them themselves. I don't know. This one's more of just like a regular, it kind of resembles Ryukin's a little bit. I don't know if it's like a solid mass bow or if it's just like an energy, like highly Pephile, because Quincy's kind of have both. Like Ryukin had an actual solid structure one, and Uryu's like his Ginrei Kojaku, that's always a like an energy bow or whatever. But yeah, so Ishida arrives on the scene, and it's weird. It's like Ichigo completely, Ichigo already knows Uryu's an enemy. They've already had that little standoff earlier when, Hashwolf, Yhwach, and Uryu are ready to get headed to the Soul Palace, and Ichigo's standing there like, what the hell are you doing there, Ishida? In this chapter, it seems like Ichigo completely forgot about all of that, because the only thing he can say whenever he looks at him is just like, Ishida. So, meanwhile, we cut back over to Yoruichi, who's standing in front of the barrier where she, used to create the Soul Kings, protect the Soul King and Mimi Hage while they have their little love-in, whatever they're doing. And, so apparently, I guess, when she got shot in the shoulder, I'm assuming that she needed to be she had to be focusing on the barrier to maintain it, or maybe she was still in the middle of doing her little Exodia ritual summoning thing. But regardless of whatever the reason is, the barrier begins to crack apart, and Yoruichi's like, oh, shit. So the barrier basically just explodes. And then we just see the Mimi Hage and still clutching the Soul King, trying to hold the two together. And Yoruichi, she yanks the arrow out of her, and she's like, oh shit, it's on now. Ichigo just kind of just says, Ishida, you bastard. Okay, I lied. He says a little bit more, but it's not like he actually kind of has a conversation with him. It's basically just like, Ishida, why are you doing this, you bastard? He doesn't actually try to have a conversation with him in this point. He just kind of just shouts at him, the same thing he did back in whenever they first met, back when they were having that standoff on the tower. There's nothing more added to it, really. Ichigo, what's going on, man? I thought we were bros. Hey, Ichigo, check this out. What is it, Yhwach? I'm trying to talk to my friend. Bitch slap. Bitch slap? Oh! So, Yhwach just kind of gives Ichigo the hand, just kind of like palm presses him, and he just gets flung around across the Cocoon Palace onto the outside of it. Meanwhile, Yhwach approaches the Soul King, ready to take out the Mimi Hage, and then we just see these 6 orbs that just start flying toward Yhwach, kind of like the black egg shit like the ninjas use, and they crash directly into him, and we see Yoruichi standing there, and she's just like, oh, apparently these orbs are like another secret technique that she has. She says that whenever the first wave of orbs hits, the second wave of orbs that she's getting ready to throw will disintegrate. Okay, cool technique. Quick question, Yoruichi. Why didn't you lead with that? I mean, you're the freaking former Captain Stealth Force, one of the lightning fast, one of the fastest people in the entire Soul Society, maybe be only matched by, Yamamoto and, Korinji, are the only 2 people I could possibly think of that could even come close to your level of speed, and you have these tools that apparently can disintegrate your enemy. Now, we all know, even if the second wave did hit you, they wouldn't actually work, but you think if Yoruichi was so confident about this, you think she would have, Chrysalis Palace, Ichigo, you guys go in the front door, I'm gonna, Shumpo up the side of it, and do some, stealth ops ninja shit, and then, we'll go from there. But no, you lead with wires, some razor wire. That's really gonna stop Leader of the Quincy, the Almighty, can see omnidirectional, will be stopped by some razor wires. Yes, that's surely your first chance there, Yoruichi. Okay, whatever. Anyway, though, it doesn't even matter, because Yoruichi doesn't even get a chance to use them. Right as she's prepping the second wave of orbs, Yhwach just simply states, Punkjas. To which we have our good old friend, Pernida Punkjas. Sternritter C, the compulsory, arrive behind Yoruichi.
Greetings, I am Sternritter C, the compulsory, Pernida Punkjas.
Okay, what does compulsory even mean? That doesn't really make sense for a power.
Well, it means that some Kim Kardashian-looking bitch is about to get her ass compulsorily beaten in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's the voice I decided to give Pernida. What do you think? I kind of mixed a female and a male together because we have no idea what this thing is going to be. Honestly, my personal expectations is I'm thinking when it takes off the hood, it's going to be a lizard-looking thing. I don't know why. I'm just getting like lizard vibes from this thing. I don't know. But it's cool to see that the other Sternritters are actually doing stuff now because we kind of wondered what they were doing, having a coffee break. It's kind of weird. They have their battles with the Zero Squad, take them out, and then Yhwach just okay, go back to the fucking Silburn or whatever. I'll call you if I need you. Because that's just kind of why would they not stay around Yhwach? Because this is supposed to be his shining moment, his triumphant, coup de grace against the Soul King. You'd think he'd want his elite guards there for that, but, whichever. And don't even ask me where Hashwolf went. That's another question altogether. But anyway, Pernida uses its unexplained ability, yet that is actually kind of very similar to Nyanzel Weisel's in the effect that it compresses and twists and contorts, the item that she's, aiming at. In this case, it's Yoruichi's arm that's holding the orb. And I want to bring something up right here. At first, I thought it was a compression ability, it compresses things down a little bit. And, that might be what it is here, except the fact that Yoruichi is still clinging to the orb. You'd think that if her arm was being, like compressed like the bone and the muscle, you think that she would drop the thing, but she doesn't. It's like only her arm that's affected. Now, I don't know if that's just like Yoruichi's pretty tough so she can withstand it, or, you know, Kubo didn't think that far ahead. I'm trying to figure it out because every angle I can look at it, its power is not that dissimilar from Neon's Weasel's. Neon's Weasel's was just, you know, it contorts and twists things to the point where they shatter or break. And that's basically the same thing I'm seeing here with Pernida using it on Yoruichi, and using it on, like, you know, Senjimaru's, like, BDSM Voltron-looking mech. You know, that's... I don't see anything special about her power, really, aside from the fact that it can just compress things down. That's it. Anyway, and even Yoruichi's a little dumbstruck. She's just like, what the hell is this? Alright, so then we cut back to Ichigo, who believes he can fly. You know, good question. Would Ichigo be able to fly in the Soul Palace? Because souls can only fly in the... You know, the human world, because they can use the Ryatsu. They can't fly in the Soul Society because everything's made of Ryatsu, but when you go to the Soul Palace, that's like a special Ryatsu. But I guess, I don't think they can, because they had to use Yorahime's, like, you know, like Santen Keshun glider-looking thing to get up there, so I don't think he can fly. So I guess he's in free fall, and I guess he maybe flash steps, you know, in front of him. I don't know how he does this, but he manages to rebound and get in front of Yhwach right as he's about to rip off Mimihage, and right when Ichigo's about to deliver the strike behind him, another arrow gets hit, kind of deflects his blow. That's once again came from Uryu, and, you know, Yhwach successfully just grabs the Mimihage and just starts to rip the fucking thing right off the Soul King's, you know, glass dome. And whenever he does this, I don't know if it's because the Mimihage is, I'm guessing because it's stretching all the way up from the Soul Society, you see, like, this entire cloud of smoke coming from the Cocoon Palace. Basically, like, you know, imagine, like, the Mimihage is like a cord attached all the way to the bottom, so when Yhwach rips the thing out, it's like it's ripping the cord out from the entire length, so that's like destroying the palace in the process. And then, beautiful part of the chapter, we see Chad and Ganju still standing exactly where they were, not doing anything. Okay, guys, look. This is stupid. This is absolutely stupid. There is no reason at fucking all why you should still be standing there. I mean, I brought it up as like a comedic routine earlier, but no. If you have any kind of special ability, you know, like Shaq can shoot energy beams, Ganju can, Thank you. I know, I'm horrible at editing. There's a little Easter egg for everybody. But no, Ganju has, you know, a whole freaking array of, like, smoke bombs and dynamite. And I mean, you know, like, Yoruichi's the only one that's been doing shit here because she has experience. And it's just, it's stupid. This is just absolutely fucking stupid. You would not be standing there. You would be doing at least something. You know, because why did you even go? Why did you even go, Chad and Ganju, if you weren't coming? Okay, I can understand Ganju, because they needed to pilot the thing up there. But Chad, what are you doing there if you're not even going to move at all? You know, Orihime is at least running around like, I'm going to try to heal the Soul King. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, Kurosaki-kun, you're falling. You know, at least she's, you know, running around the place trying to at least find something to do. You know, Chad, you can't just, you know, well, worth a shot. El Directo! You know, not even, oh, that didn't work. Okay, now I can sit around and do nothing because I attempted something and it failed. But no, we don't even get that. Do not interfere with his majesty, Kurosaki. Just what the fuck do you think you're doing, Ishida? Yes, Ichigo, just shout at your friend. I'm sure that will completely, you know, sway him to your side. You know, it's just like, stop doing this, Ichida! Oh, shit, well, now that you put it that way, I don't even know why I was doing this. Okay, let's take on Yhwach together, Ichigo. Oh, what, seriously? Yes, your brilliant words and articulation managed to sway my very strong feelings toward this matter. Okay, Ishida, you take the left and you take the... I'm fucking kidding, you idiot. I'm going to kill you in a death battle. 3, 2, 1, go. Fight. Okay, so what did we learn in this chapter today, children? Well, we learned that Ishida was a betrayer, despite the fact that we already knew that for like 80 chapters, but, you know, that's beside the point. We learned Ichigo has absolutely no will of his own, is being manipulated by pretty much everybody since before he was even conceived of, so there's that. We learned that Pernida's power involves something that we still don't know, and we learned that Chad doesn't know how to move up, like, he just lost his motor functionality, apparently. All in all, this chapter served prime reasoning to have no progress whatsoever. Like, we literally went from point A to, like, circling right back around back to point A. Like, we didn't go point A, get it? Because Yhwach has the stern, whatever. But no, we really made no progress whatsoever. Like, what happened? Like, okay, Yoruichi erected a barrier last chapter. It was destroyed this chapter. Yhwach is about to rip off the Mimihage and destroy the Soul King, just like he was about to destroy the Soul King, you know, initially, before the Mimihage even took place. So... Really, you're not doing anything here. I mean, and then Uryu shows up. Okay, but, maybe we'll get a cool battle between Uryu and Ishida next chapter, but, we thought we were going to get that with Yhwach, and I have no idea. Like, I always assumed the final battle with Yhwach was going to be, like, a tag battle between Ichigo and Uryu, and... maybe that could happen now, like, those are going to fight in some other location, and, I just thought of a cool idea. Maybe they could go to, like, the 5 different palaces, like, like Uryu and Ishida, like, they get flung to another palace, Uryu and Ichigo gets flung to another palace, and they fight there, and then, like, Yoruichi fights against Pernida. I was right about that, by the way, called that shit. Yoruichi and Pernida got sent to, like, another location, they fight there, and then all the other Stern Ritters pop up, so, I mean, the other Stern Ritters are still around, so maybe we'll get, like, more of a divide and conquer thing here. I'm not sure what's going to go on with Uketake now, that the Mimihage is being ripped apart. I mean, I don't know if they can just, if the Mimihage has a way of fighting on its own, or if it's just all limited to Uketake's will. I have no idea, but yeah, I was feeling very disingenuous about this chapter. Don't really feel like we got anything done. It was mostly just for filler, but yeah, anyway, Tekking101 signing out, I guess. Laters. Oh yeah, and 20,000 subs, bitches! Oh yeah, this is awesome. Let me, I don't know, let me put on my Hashwolf wig. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is nice. 20,000 subs. It's great for that, and I'm the balance, and I don't know. Hey, what was up with that girl that was in Hashwolf's, like, bedroom? That chick with the whited out eyes? I don't know. What's up with her? I don't know. So many unanswered questions. Okay, so fuck it. I want to know what was up with her. Okay, Kubo, answer that question. All right, I want to know. Was it like her sex partner or like another like Stern Ritter or some shit? I don't know. All right, later, guys.